Church Street, one of Norfolk's oldest and historic communities that has been around since 1637. It became a predominantly black community in the early 1900s.
Growing up in Norfolk, Virginia, there were two downtowns. Back in the bad old days, there was Granby Street and there was Church Street. And Granby Street was the center of the so-called white downtown, and Church Street was the center of the so-called black downtown.
Church Street is home to the historic landmark, the Attucks Theater, which was constructed in 1919 and commemorates Crispus Attucks, an African-American man who was the first American patriot to lose his life in the Boston Massacre of 1770.
The building was built in 1919 by a completely black conglomerate, designed and funded completely black, which is very cool.
It was the focal point of entertainment, business, and racial pride in Norfolk's African-American community.
The Attucks was, as everyone knows, one of the very first theaters in the United States to be designed by blacks and built by blacks and run by blacks. The big excitement was the theater itself, and it was a center of black entertainment, and there were, of course, many famous entertainers who ended up coming to perform there.
Legendary performers such as Mamie Smith, Cab Calloway, Duke Ellington, Nat King Cole, and Sanford and Son's Red Fox were a few to have graced the Attucks stage with their talents.
It was called the Apollo of the South because it was built very similarly to the Apollo in New York.
The Attucks may not attract big crowds like the Apollo Theater, but is still very important to the community.
The main thing is that the Attucks has now become, again, a cultural center for the community. The building is currently owned by the city of Norfolk.
Jason Battle, WNSU-TV. It was the focal point of entertainment, business, and racial pride in Norfolk's African American community. Legendary performers such as Mamie Smith, Cab Calloway, Duke Ellington, Nat King Cole, and Sanford and Sons' Red Fox were a few to have graced the Attucks stage with their talents. The Attucks may not attract big crowds today, like the Apollo Theater, but is still very important to the community. The Attucks may not attract big crowds today, like the Apollo Theater, but it is still important to the community of Church Street. Jason Battle, WNSU-TV.